I saw your face with and without hair, and I wanted to get married right away, honestly. Okay. Okay. Hey everyone, welcome back to another episode of my channel. So today's video is a Q&A. So I recently sent you guys 2 posts, one on Instagram and one on YouTube, asking you guys to ask me questions about myself. And the reason why I thought that would be a good idea is because the family has been growing. I've been having more subscribers, and I just thought that it would be a good idea for me to do a Q&A so that you guys can get to know more about me. Yeah, so I think I got a total of 60 to 70 questions. Some of them were repetitive, but it's not a big deal. The most important thing is that the questions are answered. And yeah, that's it. So let's get started. And just a disclaimer, guys, if you guys can hear some background noise, please just ignore, because I can't do anything about it, and I need to do this video today so that it's not late. I can't control what other people are doing, but I'll try my level best to have good audio. Yeah, and that's it. So let's get started. So the first question comes from Poetic Patricia, and she asked, what's your skincare routine? I want to eliminate some acne, scars, and large pores. Honestly, I feel like this question is not meant for me, not in a bad way. It's just because I don't think like my skin is that amazing. I don't think so. I still have my pimples sometimes, and my skin is not all that really. But anyway, to be honest, I don't even have a skincare routine. I don't, like, to be very honest, like I don't have anything fancy that I do, or any fancy facial product that I use. But what I at least try to do every single day is ensure to have clean face when I'm going to sleep, so that I don't go to sleep with dirt that have accumulated during the day. And then another thing is I have combination skin. I think that's neutral and oily at the same time. Yeah, not dry. So I always ensure to moisturize my skin, because if I don't, I usually feel like my face is you know what I'm trying to say, like I always feel like it's elastic in a bad way. Like I just feel uncomfortable. So I usually ensure that I moisturize my face, and what I normally use is the lotion that I use all over my body is what I use on my face. If I don't have makeup on, it's just lotion, and that's it. So I always ensure to have clean skin when I'm going to sleep and moisturize my face, and that's it. Like nothing fancy. I don't use anything extra, and I think I can show you guys the lotion that I use. So if you're in Kenya, I'm sure you know Nice and Lovely cocoa butter with shea, cocoa butter lotion with shea butter. So this is just what I use on my face if I don't have makeup on, and that's it. So nothing fancy, Patricia, really. And then the next question comes from gikonyolea.ke. She asks, why don't you collaborate with other influencers since like last year? Just wondering what happened. So since I started YouTube, I have never really done a collaboration. Like really, I've never really done a collaboration, because all throughout since I started YouTube, I've always felt like for you to collaborate with someone, you have to have something to offer. You have to have something, I don't know, I didn't feel like I had so much to offer to the other person who I'm supposed to collaborate with, one. And then two, I felt like my YouTube channel was still small and growing, so I felt like I needed to grow myself first a little bit more before I collaborate with other influencers. Yeah, but it doesn't mean that I can't do it. If I find someone who feels like, you know, there's a match, like we can get along, yeah, I definitely do a collaboration. And then the third question comes from the Cuke Coils. I know you. So she asked, how old are you? And then in brackets, though I know. Okay, I'm 26 years old. I was born on 10th of January of 1994. So I'm 26 years old right now. And then the next question comes from Reggae Inspo. She asked, what's your favorite podcast? At David Brick, I think, is my favorite. He interviewed Beyonce's publicist. I don't listen to so much podcasts really, but one that I've really come to love and I got to know it through YouTube is The Roommates. So The Roommates are just two friends who come together and they do podcast, and they also have a YouTube channel, and I feel like their work is amazing, and I always feel like their content is, you know, those questions that ladies would want to know from a man perspective. I feel like they do that, like they go down that lane, and they have amazing content and they're so inspiring. And yeah, you guys should check them out on Instagram. On Instagram and on YouTube. Yes. And then the next question, the next question, 007 Empire LTD asks, hi Akinyi's men, what are you grateful for? First of all, I'm grateful to be alive. Like, without life, like, for you, that, like, it's done, it's over. Yeah, so first of all, I'm just thankful to God to be alive, because background noise anyway. So what am I grateful for? I am very grateful to be alive. Like, that's my number one thing on my list of being things that I'm grateful for. I'm grateful to be alive. Let me just tell you guys something that made me realize that life, not that I've not always known that life is a gift, but it really dawned on me more that life is a gift. The time when I was sick and I was admitted in hospital and I was going through my chemotherapy, every week that I was in hospital, someone died in my ward. Like, you talk to someone today, the next morning you wake up, someone's dead. So I'm really thankful to God that I am alive. The second thing is that God has restored my health. For the fact that you guys can see me making a video, like coming to you guys and talking, and that you can see me, you know, my face, you can't, like, if you look at me really, apart from, let's assume that you guys didn't know that my hair had fallen, you can't tell that I was sick. There's a time when I was so skinny, I didn't have the cheek, like my cheeks were no more, like I used to look like this. And I remember my nephew asking me all the time, like, why do you keep on doing this, Fiona? And he didn't even realize that it was not that I wanted to do that. It's because I had lost so much weight. So I'm thankful to God for being alive, or keeping me alive, and I'm also grateful to God that I have good health. Yes. And then the next question comes from Nyambura Mukui. She asks, how are you doing? How are you feeling? I am doing great. I'm feeling fine right now. Like, health wise, I'm so much better. I'm at a very good space right now. If you had told me last year, maybe mid last year, that I would be in this space right now, I think that would be ridiculous, because I was in such a bad state. But right now I'm doing so much better. So yeah, thank you. The next question comes from Beauty by Anne. She asked, how are you doing? That's the same question. I'm doing so much better. I'm doing well. Health wise, like, I can go out, do my errands, live my life, and yeah, cancer is history, chemo is history, and I'm happy. Yeah. The next question comes from Christine6590. She asks, how old are you? Why did you go through chemotherapy? If you don't mind me asking, wishing you abundant life. So how old are you? I'm 26 years old, like I said. Why did you go through chemotherapy? Because I had cancerous tumors growing in my uterus and my ovaries. Yeah, so that's why I went through chemo. Like, there was no other option but chemo, because the tumors were cancerous. And then wishing you an abundant life. Thank you so much. Same for you. And then the next question comes from, I don't think it's a question, but anyway, she asked, her name is Maleta Williams. I think I said that right. Why do you care what people say about you? I have big lips myself and I love me. Here in the US, the white people are doing their best to get lip injection so their lips can look like our lips. You're beautiful. You're a beautiful young lady. Learn to let the words of others fall to the ground, because they can't live for you. Only you can do it. And may God bless you and keep the faith in your heart that God created you for himself, not for nobody else. Be blessed, little sister in Christ. Thank you so much, Maleta. So I believe she's coming from, like, what she's saying is coming from the video that I did talking about my experience with some guy that I we schooled with some years back. So that video, I made it, that was last week. I mean last week but one. I guess last week but one. But so the reason I shared that story is because, first of all, it happened to me so many years ago. That was in 2006. That's over 10 years ago. I think almost 14 years. And then I was 12 years old. And it's not like I care about what people say about me, really. It's just that I wanted to share my experience with you guys, hoping that there's someone who can relate with me. Right now I don't. I mean, I've grown much older. I have a better understanding, and honestly I care less. Like, I care nothing about what other people think about me except me. So when I was making that video, I wasn't doing it based on, oh, you know, I feel so bad that that guy said that about me. Not really. I was just making the video to, you know, share my experience with you guys and hoped that you would relate to it. So Maleta, thank you so much. But also, I don't really care about what people think about me. So I thank God that I've grown up and I have a better understanding of what people, how I feel about myself. Yeah, and I love my lips, really. Otherwise, I wouldn't be here. So thank you, Maleta. So the next question comes from All Things Gelatia Terrell. I hope I pronounced that right. Please, I hope. So she says, I would like to know something about your culture, like your village, language, food, traditional dress, marriage rituals, anything cultural. Okay, so first of all, I'm Kenyan. I'm African, first of all. I'm African, and then I'm Kenyan. So I've been born and raised in Kenya. But in Kenya, we have like around 52 ethnic groups. And from those 52 ethnic groups, my ethnic background is Luo. So I'm a Luo girl, yeah. And so the Luos are originally in Kenya, are originally from the western side of Kenya, and from I'm specifically from Kisumu. Let me just say that I'm from Kisumu, and then so we speak Luo. And then what else? Your village. So like I said, I'm from Kisumu. What's your language? Luo. Food. Let me say Luos are mostly known for like background noise. Oh. Anywho, mostly Luos are known for fish because we live near Lake Victoria. Yes. And then dress. I'm gonna look for a photo that symbolizes Luo dressing right here somewhere. I'll look for it and paste it right here. And then marriage rituals. Our marriage rituals, I think, are almost similar to other tribes in Kenya. So in Luo, when it comes to marriage rituals, what usually happens is that for me, if I'm supposed to go and get married, like if someone proposes to me and then you're supposed to go and get married, what happens is that the guy is supposed to come to my parents and then get to my parents, of course. And then there's something that we call aye in Luo. Aye, not aye, aye. So aye is money that this guy is supposed to pay to give to my mother, and if my mother accepts the aye, then it basically means that my mother has accepted the marriage proposal. And then also the two families are meant to meet, get to know each other, agree on bridal, what is it called? Mahari. Mahari in English is called, I'll place it right here, I've forgotten again in English, but they're supposed to pay dowry. Yes, Mahari is dowry. Mahari is in Swahili, but in English it's called dowry. So they're supposed to pay the dowry, and then once the dowry is paid, it basically means that both families have accepted the union, and then you can go ahead and do your white wedding or your traditional wedding if you want to. But mostly in Kenya, people actually just combine the white and the traditional wedding. So pretty much that's it. And usually in Kenya, I don't know, these days really people just combine the white wedding and the traditional wedding, so you can see the aspects of the white wedding in the theme and also the traditional in the theme as well. So people just combine both. Yeah, and then people get married. I don't think it's that complicated. Usually if both families are at ease with the union, there's nothing much that, you know, should complicate the process. Yeah. Anything cultural, these days people don't do so much. At least from my family, we don't really follow a lot of cultural practices that people used to do back in the days. Like I remember we used to have a house help back in the days when I was still younger, who had 6 teeth on her lower jaw removed because it was a cultural thing, which is kind of awkward, but at least from my side, I can't really tell anyone who has done that now, but the people still do that. What else? There's also something called wife inheritance, which is so pathetic. Honestly, I know it's culture, but it's pathetic. Mostly people from the western side used to do that. Some still do, which I think it's pathetic, but it's for wife inheritance basically means that if there are 2 brothers and both of them have wives and one dies, the other brother inherits the wife, which is pathetic. But people didn't do that a lot these days. Like 99% of the people in my tribe don't do that right now. I believe they don't. I feel like it's wayward. Yeah, and then so yeah, let's go to the next question. The next question is from Sukali. Okay, God, Fiona. Sukali Saga. Please, if I pronounce your name wrong, please forgive me. But I think that's how it's pronounced, Sukali Saga. So she asked, why am I saying it's a lady? But this person asked, do you have a PO box? I may want to send you a little something. Your story touched me. You remind me of myself as a young girl growing up in Kenya with so many dreams and aspirations. Also, I cannot find your PayPal account. Stay encouraged. God loves you. Keep the faith. Love from Florida, USA. Yes, I have a PO box. So I recently, because I've noticed that a couple of people have been asking me in, the last 4 or 5 videos that I've posted on, people are asking me on my PayPal account and people are asking me for my PO box. So I decided to put it on the About tab on my YouTube channel. So when you go to my YouTube channel, there's the home, there's the videos, the playlist, community, everything else, and then the last one is about. When you click that, you'll get all the information you need. But also, if you feel like I haven't given you enough details, don't hesitate to ask me on my email address right here, or send me a DM on Instagram, and I'll be more than happy to help you or help us. Yeah, so thank you so much. Also, I've put my details of my PayPal account over there, so if you need anything, or rather if you feel like you want to donate to this channel, I've put all the details over there. But like I said, if you have anything else that you feel like you need from me, don't hesitate to send me an email address, because I respond ASAP, for real. Or send me a message on Instagram and I'll do that. Thank you so much. And then the next question comes from Jasmine Joseph. She says, this is not a question, but you're beautiful. Thank you, Jasmine. You too. And then Eloise 0323, she says, I'm assuming this person is a lady. But the person says, you're so beautiful. My question for you is, tell us more about your family and country. Okay, so like I said, I'm from Kenya. I live in Nairobi, but my village side is from Kisumu. I come from a family of 7 members, 2 parents, father and mother. I'm grateful to God because they are still alive. And then we are 5 siblings, so I have 2 sisters and 2 brothers. Yes, and I'm the second born. And then the next question is from God Cares Jab. The question is, what or who inspires you? Are you embracing your hair now that it's shorter? And is it growing back? Have you ever thought about going to the United States to visit or live? Okay, that's a couple. So I'll start with the first one. What or who inspires you? so many things, so many people for different reasons, really. But what inspires me? Life inspires me, God inspires me. Other people's stories who have gone ahead of me in life are inspiring me, like my mother. What inspires me? What I'm passionate about. Like if I'm passionate, for example, to be honest, I'm passionate about my YouTube channel, so that inspires me to keep on posting every day. I love making YouTube videos. I love making content. I love being a content creator because I feel like I'm a free spirit when I do that. Like I can do whatever I want without necessarily being answerable to anyone. I don't have so many people who inspire me. Okay, in terms of YouTubers, Kenyan YouTubers who have done it, like have been doing it longer than me. There's so many people, to be honest, yeah. But they inspire me for different reasons. Like if I say Kenyan YouTubers, it means because they're doing great right now, and I want to be like them one day or something. Yeah, and then are you embracing your hair now that it's shorter? Yes, of course. Although I have to be honest, I don't always go out looking like this. 80% of the time, I'm either in a wig or in a head wrap because since I finished my chemotherapy sessions and then my hair fell off, I realized that my hair texture has changed. So right now I feel like I have two hair textures. The back of my head is 4C, and then at the front here it's a texture that I can't even relate to. Like I don't even know, but I know my hair looks much more straighter. So I feel like that difference or the disparity makes me feel a little bit uncomfortable, and I don't want people to ask me questions. So I have to say that I'm embracing 90%. Like yes, I'm kind of embracing it, if that makes sense. Yeah. And then I hope I've answered the question. And is it going back? Yes, it's definitely going back. Like there are days when I used to do this, like, play with it, or I'd just touch it and I'd notice that my hair was still kind of shedding, but right now it's not. So yeah, it's going back. And then have you ever thought of going to the United States to visit or live? Yes, I have. I mean, I want to visit but not live. I just want to live in Kenya. Like I know, but Kenya's for me is home, but I'd love to visit the United States but not live. And then the next question comes from Andy White. The question is, can you give an update about your health, and is everything going well for you now? I've probably missed it in a previous video, but what is your occupation? What does your 5-year plan look like? etc. Move, schooling, new career path, marriage, children. Yeah, my health is doing well. Like I'm doing well health-wise right now. If I can come here and talk to you guys, I'm doing well. And then, is everything going well for you now? Yes. I feel like I'm in a good space right now. What is my occupation? I'll answer that with school. So I did my undergrad from 2013 to 2016. I studied communication at Daystar University, specialized in electronic media. Yeah, I haven't done my master's or anything of that sort. So yeah, career-wise, right now I'm only doing YouTube, and that's what I really want to do. I don't want to be employed. I just want to do YouTube because I feel like if I get employed, I feel like I'll have a boss, and then I'll always be answerable to someone. I want freedom, so I don't want to be employed. I want to do YouTube. I want to do content creation, and then maybe in the near future open a business of myself. I have an idea, but you guys will get to know more about it as time goes by. And then my marriage and children. I'm not married and I don't have children. My 5-year plan, I just want to work on myself, to be very honest. In the next 5 years, I hope to be having a place of my own and driving and just being financially independent. Yeah, and maybe get married one day. Yeah, and then the next question is from Deglel Tesfandrius. This person sounds Ethiopian or Eritrean. Maybe, I'm just guessing. But so the person says, I saw your face with and without hair, and I wanted to get married right away, honestly. Okay. I think maybe that's a compliment, because I don't think you'd want to get married to someone you're not kind of attracted to. So what am I supposed to say? Thank you. Okay. Yeah, and then the next comment is from Lori Nicholas. How are you doing? Akinyi, my prayers are always with you, and you're a gorgeous lady. Thank you, Lori. I'm doing so much better right now. So yeah, thank you. Thank you for the prayers as well. And the next one is from Joanne Joey. She says, what does your name mean? Favorite food? What kind of music? Shoe size? Just kidding. Are you in a relationship? What does my name mean? So I want to assume you're asking me my name on YouTube. My name on YouTube is Akinyi's Mane. So you know how you can say a lion's mane? So that's like how I came up with the name Akinyi's Mane. A lion's mane, Akinyi's Mane. Because at the time when I started my YouTube channel, I was just focusing on my hair. But if you have to ask me about my Akinyi's Mane, Akinyi is a Luo name, like I said previously, and Akinyi comes from the word Gokinyi in Luo, which means born. In the morning. So if you're a girl and you're born in the morning, you're called Akinyi. Yeah, so I was born in the morning, or rather my mother gave birth to me in the morning. And then, but my full names, like my ID names, are Fiona, Mary, Akinyi, Okumu. Okumu is my father's name. Mary is my name from my grandmother. Like I was named after my grandmother from my paternal side. And then, what kind of music do I like? I love Kenyan music, I love Nigerian music, I love some of the Tanzanian music that I listen to. I can't really say what genre, but to me, anything that sounds good in my ears, I love. And then, yeah, I love African music. And then my shoe size. Even if you're joking, I'm gonna tell you anyway. Let's just put it in inches. I am 25.5 inches long, foot long, if that makes sense. Yeah, 25.5 is my feet size. And then, are you in a relationship? No, I'm single. My last relationship ended in July of 2019, and it was 4 years long, and then from 2015 to 2019. So, and then Khalid Alves, okay, I hope I'm pronouncing your name right, but he asks, have you ever been a victim of racism or violence against women? Racism, no, and I think the reason why I have never really faced any kind of racism is because I live in Kenya, and so let's just say roughly in Kenya, 80 to 90% of us are just Africans. Yeah, so racism, yes, there are incidences of racism, but specifically myself, I have not really faced any kind of racism. Violence against women's rights, I honestly have to think about it, but right now I don't think I have. Like, I can't remember an incident where I feel like, someone did something against me just because I'm a woman. So I don't, not really. And then the next question is from Viv Balmos. She says, African Queen, you are beautiful. Thank you. Tell us what you are doing to stay positive while going through this difficult time. Well, I'd like to say that I feel like the difficult part is over, to be very honest. Because if I was going through that difficult time right now, I wouldn't be here filming this video. The most difficult time for me was last year, 2019. Yeah, because I was in hospital and going through all that medication and all that stuff. So right now, I'm okay. So if you have to ask me then what I used to do, I think just really reading the Bible, because I'm Christian, I believe in Jesus Christ. Yeah, and I'm a born again Christian. So just really reading the word of God, like reading the Bible and just knowing what the Bible says about me, or rather what God says about me, keeps me going. My faith in Christ keeps me going. Yeah, so reading the word of God, and also having family members around me who have been caring enough. Kuvumilia, what's kuvumilia in English? Like being remorseful, is the word remorseful, but really just taking care of me then when I was sick, helped me, or rather encouraged me to keep on going or moving on. Yes.